Imagine being deceived by those you should trust the most. For 40 years, hundreds of people believed they were receiving medical care. But the truth was much darker. This is the true story of one of the most cruel experiments in American history, the Tuskegee Syphilis Study, a conspiracy that destroyed lives for decades and revealed just how far science can go when guided by evil intentions. Get ready for a disturbing journey into the secrets of Tuskegee. And trust me, by the end, you'll be asking, how far can governments go to manipulate human lives? In the 1930s, America was still recovering from the Great Depression. The state of Alabama, in the southern United States, was marked by extreme poverty and, above all, racism. The black community, poor and without access to health care, was invisible to the government. It was in this setting that the Tuskegee study of untreated syphilis in black men was born. Officially, it promised free treatment for a disease that was devastating vulnerable communities, syphilis. In 1932, the government recruited 600 black men from rural Tuskegee. Most were illiterate and living in dire conditions. Of these men, 399 were already infected with syphilis, while the other 201 served as a control group. They were told they were receiving treatment for bad blood, a term used for various illnesses. But what the doctors really wanted was to study the effects of syphilis when left untreated. And the cruelest part, they were never told the truth, and they never received the proper treatment, even when a cure existed. As the years went by, medicine advanced. In 1947, penicillin was recognized as the definitive cure for syphilis. Yet these men never knew. The government chose to let them suffer, just to observe what would happen to their bodies. Years passed and the experiment continued. Decade after decade, over the course of 40 years, dozens of men died. Women were infected, children were born with congenital syphilis, all while the researchers coldly documented everything as if they were mere numbers. It wasn't until 1972 that the secret was exposed. A journalist named Jean Heller published a shocking report in the New York Times. American society was outraged. The government was forced to end the experiment. An investigation was launched. But the damage was already done. Hundreds of lives were destroyed, and trust in the medical system shattered forever. In 1997, more than 60 years after the experiment began, President Bill Clinton issued an official apology to the surviving victims and their families. But can a simple apology ever erase decades of pain and neglect? The story of Tuskegee reminds us that sometimes those who are supposed to protect are the very ones causing the most harm. And do you trust the healthcare system and the government? This was just one of many revealed conspiracies. But are there others happening right now, in secret?